I'm Jules Archard. I'm the showroom sales director for Domus, and Domus are a business-to-business tile and engineered flooring seller. We sell essentially to architects and interior designers. So this was our first ever showroom. It's based in Battersea on Queenstown Road, and quite a substantial space. We moved here 21 years ago, so we're well embedded into the local community, and this has got quite a history to it, actually, this showroom. So it was the first ever London Alfa Romeo showroom in the 1920s. Since then it's had various iterations. Most recently, before us, it was a bathroom company. We noticed that during COVID, the working habits of architects and designers in particular changed dramatically. A lot of people were working from home. And so we got quite good actually at improving our game digitally, and also our sampling service and a way of communicating with designers and architects who weren't necessarily willing or able to come into London every day, or even work in London every day as they once did. So we had to do two things really. First of all, we had to up our digital game. But also we've had to work really hard on our spaces, because if we're going to see architects, a fifth of the amount of time we used to, then we need to make sure that when they come to our spaces, it is the most beautiful, the most appropriate, the most relevant space. And that's what was really behind this latest refurbishment at our Battersea showroom. The least we can do if we expect people to come all the way across London or into London come and see us, the least we can do is make sure they have the most beautiful space with the most inspiring and aspirational displays possible. So the refurb of the Battersea showroom has been a full refurb. Every single element of this space has changed. So we've installed brand new room sets, brand new displays, new furniture, and this amazing hosting kitchen. And the concept behind the hosting kitchen was, if we're going to make this space the most beautiful space we can and the most inspiring space we can when people come here, we want to go that extra mile, and we want to make it a space where we can actually host and entertain them. So, the ideal scenario for me would be somebody comes to Domus to see our displays, to work on a specification with one of the sales team, and do you know what? The salesperson cooks some lunch or makes some breakfast. How lovely is that? And I just thought, as a way of really improving the experience and make it really worth people's while to come in, this is what we wanted to do. So when it comes to the design of this space, there's different elements to it. So we're very lucky to have our own in-house interior designers. And our CEO, John Newey, is also has a very keen eye for design. So he led a lot of this along with our interior design team. We designed this space in-house ourselves, but we designed this space in collaboration with Designed by Wolf, the interior design practice, as well as Roundhouse kitchens, who supplied and designed this beautiful kitchen. And we also had lots of other brand partners involved as well. So, for example, Argile consulted on the colour, and various different other partners and businesses helped us put this together. So this really was a design collaboration. The whole project took just over a year, I'd say. We were definitely talking about it more than a year ago, but in terms of when we first put pen to paper, started drawing this up and started talking with our various different brand partners, I'd say it's taken around a year to complete. So we've done it in pretty quick time, actually, considering it's a full refurb. But there isn't a single element of this showroom which hasn't been redesigned, right the way down to the furniture from Boss Design, for example. It's all been refurbished and reinstalled from scratch. My favourite element of this showroom by far is this hosting kitchen. This is a fully operational hosting kitchen, right down to the ovens, the fridge, the sous vide we have everything ready to go. So, when we had a launch party, we had chefs in cooking here live for our guests. It was a really lovely experience, and just opening some of these cupboards and finding some of these secret delights hidden inside, like the pantry cupboard, for example, with its own bar inside, and the back of house sections where you've got one area specifically for making food and one area specifically for making drinks. So, this is all about hosting and as I said, giving the best possible experience to our guests. it's more than met our expectations because it just works so well. You know, Roundhouse are absolute experts in their field. They actually design, manufacture, and build everything from scratch in the UK. They worked extremely closely with us on the concept, extremely closely with us on the design and on the installation. And, you know, we're quite fussy at Domus. We're not probably not the easiest people to work with in terms of, you know, demands, but we got everything right. And, you know, Brian Wolf from Designed by Wolf as well, who's extremely eminent and very successful interior designer, designs these spaces for a living. It's what he does. So we were also extremely lucky to work with him because, you know, the first thing he said to us was, well, what do you want to get out of this? Who's it for? What do you want to do? You know, anyone can build a kitchen, a fully functioning kitchen, but who's going to use it? How is it going to be used? What sort of things are you going to make here? What sort of presentations are you going to do here? And so it was really good actually to have his insights, as well as our own design team at Domus, into how to make this the best looking, but also the most useful space we could. We have showrooms in Battersea, in Surrey, in Clerkenwell, which is really the home of architectural specification in the UK. We have a showroom in Birmingham, one in Manchester, and one in a studio in Glasgow too. And they all differ slightly actually because they're all addressing slightly different markets, not only slightly different markets, but slightly different projects. So for example, the Battersea showroom here is aimed squarely at the residential community and really aimed at interior designers because we're right in the centre of a huge population of interior designers. To us, the showroom is everything. We can have the most beautiful imagery on our website. We can have the most efficient and lovely sample service where samples are on your desk or in your home studio, you know, by 9 o'clock the next morning. We can do all of that, but we work with materials. We work with something which you need to see up close and you really need to understand how it feels on a bigger scale. And it's impossible to get that from images. You know, the materiality is so important, and so our showrooms are everything. You know, they really are. We're a showroom-driven business, and although we will go out to see architects in their studios, we will send samples out in the post or on a next day service or whatever it is. We really, really want people to come in here because this gives us our best chance to showcase the materials we sell and to really have that conversation and get the best outcome for them ultimately.